How, in all honesty, will members of parliament want to sit in a place like that? These are some of the questions that we must ask as leaders. But, Mheshimiwa Eugene,
if there are any questions,
if there are questions, I can deal with them.
Also a question from this side. Driver you for representing Western Africa. The African Governance Report 2023 under the African Peer Review Mechanism actually highlighted this particular issue.
speak out.
Highlighted this particular issue.
You know, you can step out a bit
And speak
so
out.
we can hear you.
The African Governance
You just come right there
Okay.
so we can hear you.
Yes,
Yeah, because the media actually, so the media can focus on it.
The African Governance Architecture under the African Peer Review Mechanism gave a report on governance, and they highlighted these particular issues on youth, on unemployment, on various other things. And there's also a plethora of issues within this particular report. Are you calling for a transition committee? And in this particular transition committee, who do you have in mind as a meal?
Transition committee at the national level,
Yeah.
that is where the institutions,
Perhaps also considering the youth, also dismantle these particular institutions to include parliament and perhaps the judiciary. And that can be witnessed by the banning of parliament and the banning of the judiciary. So, what can you say about this?
that is a lot of food for thought, but Jeremiah, I think you have given some thought to it.
Let me just, clearly, when the Generation Z started with the reject finance bill, there are those who had estimated the resolve. And what we have before us now is hashtag Ruto must resign. What we hold as Azimio also is that the executive plus the legislature should give way so that we can be able to get a new start. We need radical reforms in the country. We do not want cosmetic application. We actually need a radical reconstructive surgery of the institutions that have been affected. And with this, of course, we will be inviting even the judiciary to look at possibilities of helping us through this transition. But it is an issue that needs to be processed by us properly so that we are able to come up with an idea or a suggestion that will ensure that the country moves on. What we do not want is the country to go the Somalia way. But we are certain that we cannot be able to live any longer with William in power, with William and his cabinet in office, and equally with a parliament that have been impeached. So we have provisions in the constitution. You can look at Article 134 the way to Article 146, and we need to interpret them a little bit more liberally so that we can be able to get ourselves out of where we are. And it is possible for us to transit from where we are to a next system which is more inclusive and perhaps one that can help us navigate through the difficulties that we are in. The only other thing that I can also add is the issue of financing. There is a struggle with Ruto to try and assign financing to individuals all over. The Generation Z or Generation Z were being financed by their parents. Bus fare, pesa ya kunywa chai, pesa ya kurudi nyumbani, bundles, that is the financing that was being done by parents. So if you are looking for who was financing, go for the parents. Stop scapegoating and stop hiring goons, like it has been said.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Another question, or we probably end it up there.
There's one on this side.
I think you better be seen by your colleagues.
You think?
These are days of absolute transparency.
What do you think?
You will not ask a question in secrecy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, go ahead.
Yes, the issue of the pay hike. As a meal, given a directive to the coalition government, we get the pay hike.
The pay rise. We are going to do that. I think that, well, he has spoken on behalf of the National Assembly. This goes to all our governors, all our MCAs, right? Complete and total rejection. In fact, it's like kicking our youth on the teeth. When they have been shedding blood to have a better country, then you go and do the opposite.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.